We continue live right here on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Bordas and Bordas fighting for justice, and the Pirates at this point fighting to be a spoiler. Although it was interesting today, the Cincinnati Reds swept Milwaukee, Ron.
Wow.
Every time Milwaukee has a chance to get close, Chicago loses the last 2 days, they don't respond, and they're kind of just meandering.
It's not only that, Bob. Milwaukee and Colorado is falling apart here, too. Milwaukee has a chance to win at least the wild card, and you get swept 3 games in a row in Cincinnati. Man, we talk about what the Pirates have done against the Reds. The Reds have killed Milwaukee this week, no question.
I think one of the biggest disappointments of this year has been Daniel Hudson. He was the one who came in and gave up the winning run today in the 9th inning, and he has another year left, Ron. But
I'm big money for the Pirates, like
right.
$5.5 million.
I didn't like that signing at the time. I like it a lot less now.
I liked it. I did like it at
the
time. Yep.
I just looked at last year, and he did not have good stuff in the high.
But he only had like a 3-week period where he was awful. The rest of the season, he was very good.
But still, $11 million. That's an awful lot
for the Pirates. It is.
Let's go to line 2 to kick it off. Joe in Penn Hills. Joe, welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
Hey, Ron. How you guys doing?
Good.
I seen my first game in 1949, so I've seen a lot of baseball. And tonight, I don't know if anybody noticed it, but the Pirate lineup, including the pitcher, had 4 players under 200. Now, that isn't going to ever get me to go watch a ball game. And both teams, neither had a 300 hitter.
Well,
that's how baseball is
you
today.
can say that about the Cubs, too. I looked at their lineup.
They're world champions,
surprised. They have a 300 hitter. So, and we had 4 under 200. I mean, that isn't baseball. You can't do that and tell me to go down and buy a ticket. 4 guys under 200.
I'll tell you one of the worst contracts, at least to this point for me, thanks for the call, Joe, is Jason Hayward. They signed him for like $140 million. He is really offensive. He's a good defensive player, but you don't pay that much premium for a defensive guy.
You don't.
He has 9 home runs. He hasn't driven in that much. His average stinks. I was surprised that Chris Bryant only has 59 runs back.
Well, he's been hurt a couple times this year, but last year was the MVP, helped him win the World Series. I don't think they're complaining much about him.
Not about him. Let's go to line 3. That's Jim in Butler. Jim, welcome to the Sports Call.
Yeah, Bob, you can have your guy Hurdle. This guy refuses to bunt. 2 weeks ago, 5-5, bottom of the 9th, leadoff guy on. Didn't bunt him over. A week ago, nothing, bottom of the 9th.
Tonight was in the same situation, but I'll point,
Who was the hitter?
Part about this.
Who's the hitter, though?
Wait a minute, Ron.
If it's McCutcheon, I'm not having him bunt. Now, if it's Jordy Mercer, I'm going to have him bunt. Who was the hitter?
Let me have my say. Okay?
All right, go ahead. Make
it quick.
Go
ahead. Make it quick.
Right, nothing. Bottom of the 9th. Leadoff double. Doesn't bunt him over. Tonight, 1st and 2nd. Bottom of the 6th. He didn't pull Osuna.
Yeah, but let me tell you about Osuna's.
I'm not a bunting guy. I don't like to give up outs. I really don't. But it depends also who's up at the plate.
Well, Osuna, I was there for that at bat. He fought. He must have had 12 pitches in that at bat to Quintana. He ends up lining one right to Baez. One hop, it turns into a double play. But he hit it as hard as he could.
I have no problem with that.
I don't either. I mean, they're in a position at that point. You want to, they have guys.
I love these people that call bunt. I mean, it's just not Hurdle's way. I mean, he doesn't do it. It depends on the situation and who's up. Most of the time, I don't have a problem not bunting. I don't like giving up outs.
Yeah, especially with a guy like Osuna. I don't know if he's a good bunter anyway, plus he's very slow. Let's go out to Roberta in Sharpsburg. Hey, Roberta, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Bob. How are you this evening?
We're hanging in there, thanks.
Hey, I just want to know, why does he hold the pitcher when he's doing good?
Because he had 100, he was approaching 110 pitches.
He had enough tonight.
Right.
I think your argument is good on some other nights, not so much tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason, because he still cranked it up in 98.
I thought this was about as good as Garrett Cole's pitch this year.
If he
he was dominant. Not just blowing people away, breaking balls, sliders. I mean, he was very good tonight.
He had 19 wins.
He was really good against a good team tonight.
All right, let's go out to line 4. Dick, what's up, Dick? How are you?
Yeah, the reason, Bob, and I want to talk about the fact that are there some stats as to how often the Pirates have been involved in a one-run ball game in the 7th and 8th inning, get a man on first base, and they refuse to sacrifice?
Here we go with the bunts.
With the bunt.
Well,
it depends again who's on them.
If you have a cleanup hitter up, or
you don't want them to bunt. You want them to hit it over the fence.
I just want to say one more thing. I've watched a lot of ball games, and every time they get into this situation, it seems the man hits into a double play.
Well,
I'm sure that's not totally true, but I understand what you're saying.
I get your frustration.
It's a philosophy. Some managers go for it, some don't. Some like to bunt, some won't. It's not just him either. All right, let's go out to Brad in Duncansville. Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Good, Bob. Hi, Ron. How are you?
Hey.
Good.
I have a Steeler question for you both. Do you know if who will play corner with Joe Hayden Sunday?
Artie Burns.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
Okay. And the other one is, what about J.J. Wilcox? Do you think he'll ever get playing time?
Yes.
I think he could play this week. I don't know that Mike Mitchell's going to play. I talked to Mike Mitchell today. He said he's getting better and better. He couldn't play today. If they had to play, because we don't kick off till Sunday at 1. He said he's hopeful he can play. I don't know that they're going to take a chance with a hamstring with him, Bob. I would not play him if it's even close. Let him get healthy, play the next week.
Yeah, but he's a big part, and if you watch their safety play during preseason, you know how big he is and how important he is.
Well, I don't know about this year because he hasn't played since the first day.
No, but I mean when he's healthy.
Right.
He wasn't healthy the first year he got here, so it took some time. All right, we're going to go to a break. We have John, Matt, and Melissa all coming up. One line open. If you want to get on it, dial it right now. It's 412-575-2600. Right here on the Borders and Borders hotline of the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. Back in a flash.